Hi there, and welcome to the third installment in AgilePoint's Agentic AI Maturity Model series. In this video, we're going to demonstrate the ultimate vision that many have for Agentic AI, where multiple agents using different types of artificial intelligence can work together to completely optimize business operations, and do so either autonomously or via human in the loop. To help illustrate this capability, we're going to be using an insurance claim application with automated processing and enhanced fraud detection. So to help uncover fraud, we have a collection of agents configured in AgilePoint, with each playing their own distinct role as a part of a larger team. But always, AI Control Tower is an open framework that brings orchestration, guardrails, and observability for any agent, whether it's off the shelf or custom built. So the first thing you're going to notice is that our agents are using various types of models. On the right, we have an image classification agent leveraging computer vision to help analyze any images provided by the customer as a part of their claim. Next, we have a text or an LLM-based agent to help analyze the customer's description of the accident and compares it against the findings of our vision agent. And then finally, a fraud predictive agent also built with machine learning that accepts the inputs from the prior two agents to make a final determination. How likely is fraud in this claim? Now, in the event that fraud is likely, you're going to see our fraud predictive agent spring into action and pause the typical processing. As it does so, it's going to inject additional levels of review for our investigation team to review all of the facts of the claim and compare that against the findings from our various agents. So with that being said, let's go ahead and see a demo to show all of the capabilities represented by level 4 in the maturity model. So before we talk about our agents, let's walk through the typical process flow. We start with an insurance customer having an accident and calling in to the call center where a new claim is open. From there, the process flows externally back to the customer, where they can provide additional information about the accident and upload any images of damage to their vehicle, key pieces which will be processed by our agents. From here, we have a sequence of additional steps that follow a typical claims process. So now, for our agents, we have an image classification agent, which will analyze the customer-provided image and determine which part of the car was damaged. It will hand its insights over to the claims agent, which will compare against the description of the accident provided by our customer to see if they match. And finally, our fraud predictive agent, who will make a determination if fraud is likely in this claim, and if so, stop the typical processing and dynamically insert a new step for the investigation team that does not exist at design time. Okay, so let's open up a new claim. To save some time, I've pre-filled all of the relevant details, including the vehicle in the accident, as well as the driver. The accident details, including initial description, third party involved, prior claim history, and I left a comment, so now we can open up a new claim. Next up is our customer, who's received an email to provide more information. Our customer has uploaded an image showing clear damage to the front of the vehicle, but you'll notice that the more detailed accident description describes the back of the vehicle as having been damaged, so very clear conflict. Coming back to my task list, I can see that a fraud alert has been raised, which is a good indicator that our AI Control Tower agents have taken action against the process. I can further validate this by navigating to the Manage module, searching for this instance of our application, and bringing up the Runtime Visualizer, which shows 3 green checks next to each of our agents, indicating they have been successfully invoked and taken action against the process. Now, for security and governance reasons, or to further retrain our models, I can drill into the details of the actions of each agent. So as an example, if I'd like to see the input or output parameters for each agent, in other words, why did they take action and what action did they take, I can always drill into those details as well. In fact, if I were to go in and try to open up the claims handler activity, I'm going to receive a warning indicating that the AI Control Tower has determined fraud is likely in this claim and that the typical processing has been paused until the investigation team can complete their work. So from here, I'd like to highlight AgilePoint's agent observability and explainability piece, the Adaptive Orchestration Monitor, giving us visual understanding of the actions that our agents are taking. So as you can see here, the claims handler step is currently shown in orange, reflecting that it's been paused. Down below, we can see a newly inserted step in yellow for the investigation team, which we can go ahead and process. So here I'm going to see all of the insights uncovered by our various AI agents all in a single location. We can see that our image classification agent has correctly identified damage to the front of the vehicle. Our text or LLM-based agent has determined that the accident description was in fact human authentic, but that there are key differences in the accident description provided. Lastly, I have actions to take as an investigator. So I'll take an offline action to investigate the fire and police reports and determine there was no fraud in this particular case, simply a customer who was a bit frazzled after having had an accident. And lastly, having handled the exception, we can go back to the adaptive orchestration monitor, which is going to show that the inserted step for the investigation team has been completed and that we can now resume the typical processing. That's going to conclude the content for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this now gives you a better understanding of the power of the AgilePoint AI Control Tower framework and how it can not only proactively handle exceptions, but it can easily personalize and adapt these applications while they're running for the best possible customer experience.